Hi and welcome to my video about how to wire an outlet. This is your standard 15 amp outlet and I'm going to go over the different properties. So here's a copper side. It's gold screw. This is where the hot wire is going to go. There's two of them. And that's pretty much it for that. On the side is the silver side. This is where the white wire or the neutral would go. Also, the ground. The ground would go on the green screw. That's going to be your bare or green wire. This is the back of the outlet. If you noticed that there are 4 holes in the back, you could backstab these outlets. Here's a picture of all the different properties of this outlet. You have a yoke, which attaches to the sheetrock, your neutral, your hot screw, your ground screw, and your 632 screw. It doesn't make a difference which way you install the outlet, just so you know. You can install it upside down. The only way you can't install it is that the hot side up. Always have to, if you're going to install an outlet, it's got to be sideways with the neutral up. And here's a picture of showing you that you can backstab an outlet. I don't recommend backstabbing. So first what you want to do is take your wire and strip it about 1 inch or so. You don't want to go too much and you don't want to go too little, and at the end of the video I'll show you why. So here's a kind of a representation of what it would look like if you had a pair of Klein wire strippers. But you really want to go about roughly 1 inch. You don't want to go any more or any less than that. And then once you have stripped your wire, you're going to want to bend it into a hook. So you take your wire strippers, go to about the end of the copper wire, clamp on it, and then just turn it around so that it's in a hook shape. And there's your hook shaped. Pretty much you're going to wrap that around the screw, and you're going to wrap it around the screw clockwise. The reason is for so when you tighten it, that it tends to tighten it. You don't want to do counterclockwise because that might loosen it. So what I always do is when I put it over the screw, I pinch down the wire so that it hooks around. Right here you can see it better. It hooks around the screw so that even if it was loose, it's not coming off, it's staying on that screw. And then you want to screw it down and tighten it. Don't over tighten it either. Okay, as you see, the copper, bare copper, goes on the green screw. That is your ground wire. The white is your neutral. That's 0 volts potential. Okay, and then on the other side is your hot. That's your 120 volt potential. And again, you clamp it down, and you screw both screws down, by the way. Some of these outlets come where the screws are not screwed down, they're sticking out. You want to make sure that both of those screws are screwed down. You don't want anything potentially sticking out that can blow up. And then once you've done that, you're pretty much all set. You just put the wires back into the box, and you neatly tuck them in. If you shouldn't have more than 8 to 10 inches of wire sticking out of your box. If you do, trim them up a little bit. You don't need that much. You do need a minimum of 6 inches coming out of the box though, so don't make sure that they're not too short either, because you do need to have about 6 inches coming out of the box. So you can see the wire there is see, this is a picture of a bad one. I did this purposely to show you. You see that the copper is extended beyond that outlet. This could cause a shock. It could cause something to blow up because you have exposed copper hanging out. This should never be done this way. the insulation basically should not extend past, or the bare copper rather should not extend past the outlet. You never want to do that. And then depending on, yeah, here's another picture. The white wire you see the insulation is underneath the screw. This is bad because what's happening there is that the screw is tightening down on the insulation, so it's making kind of a loose connection to the copper. This could cause arcing and sparking, which, as you know, could cause fires. So you always want to make sure that only copper is underneath that screw, no insulation. There's another picture of a bad installation. Now the tops and bottoms of the yoke, if you have a new work box, which means it's a box that was mounted to the stud and it